What's up, guys, and welcome to my 500 sub special. Well, now we're actually past 500 subscribers and just wanted to thank you guys for subscribing. And this is the video I am delivering, which is two PartyBox Stage 320s versus the big boy in the middle, the Teufel Rockster. As you can see, I have not attached the wheels that are included with the Teufel Rockster. That is mainly because I've had a really bad experience with a Teufel Rockster where the wheels broke when wheeling it, so I decided to use other methods of transport. This comparison will be slightly different from the other ones I've had. It will first be the PartyBox playing at around 30% volume, and then I'll switch back and forth to a similar loudness scale for the Teufel Rockster, which is currently now playing. The Teufel Rockster has 3 volume controls, or even more, I guess, when you include the equalizer that you get on the Rockster itself. So there are 2 volume dials on the speaker itself, and one of them on the top of it is set at 100%, and the one behind it it's set at 50%, and then I'll control the rest of the sound from my tablet. So that's how that's going to work out. So you have a rough estimation. So the speaker itself playing around 50% potential, even though that you will probably hear it will distort quite a bit when I push up the volumes later on. And the PartyBox plays like a normal size speaker, which is that you control the volume with just the tablet itself or your smartphone, for example. There's a little bit of wind today, but honestly I don't think it's that bad, and it's really hard not to find a good day, like the most optimal way to play these speakers. So yeah, let's begin with the PartyBoxes playing around 30% of volume. So I'll play 30%, then I'll step back a bit and do off axis and whatnot, and then I'll play at higher volumes, and then just for the sake of it I'll play at maximum volume so you can really see like the loudness difference right there. And then of course I will do a little bit of a summary later on as well. So yeah, let's begin with the Let's Go by Lensko here, and the PartyBoxes are supposed to play 30% volume. Yeah, you can probably see a little bit on the lights there. Yeah. And they're playing with the deep bass boost now. Teufel Rockster. JBL Stage 320s. Teufel Rockster playing a little bit louder on the tablet volume control right here, which around 40%. .320s. .320s playing now. Rockster. Okay, so that was it for the first test. Right now I'm gonna go back and play a little bit louder at around 50%-ish volume for the JBL speakers, and I'll match the volume with the Teufel Rockster. What I will do now is that I will turn up the bass slightly on, or about the dial. The EQ now at the Teufel Rockster is set to neutral, but I will turn up the bass to around 75%, which it was on 50 before, because it sounds a little bit more neutral, I would say, compared to the JBL, so you get the more bass sensation. Yeah, that's about it. The JBL's, of course, bass boost level 1, the deep bass mode, so gotta mention that. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, and now that's done. I will begin now with the party boxes, and I'll play around 50%. I'll play Tropic Love by Diverners Concreased. I'm probably butchering the names as usual, but you can ask me down below if you want the name of the song as well. So Tropic Love, let's go. Around 50% volume, give or take. A little bit less than 50%, but around. Rockster. Stage 320s. Rockster playing. Stage 320s. I'm going to go off axis a bit. Rockster playing. 320s playing. Rockster playing. .320s playing. Rockster playing now. .320s playing now. Yeah, that was interesting. I have some notes to take after this summary, just to mention that, and this especially, the off-axis sound comparison. So let's begin with the church bell ringing now that it's 10 o'clock. Let's move back a bit and play at slightly higher volumes. So let's, I guess I can just walk, it doesn't really matter with the tripod. Hopefully this is enough distance for the Teufel Rockster's Bluetooth range to still be able to connect to my tablet. And that's another thing to mention, that I guess it's slightly harder to know, or to note if you're not, if you don't own the speaker, is that the Bluetooth range on the Teufel Rockster is very poor. So just wanted to get that out of the way as well. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. I'll be right back. I forgot to change the song, so be right back. Okay, and now I've decided the song, and I went back to the Teufel Rockster and I set the EQ to neutral again, because the bass is really now starting to, I tested it a bit and it started to distort a bit. So that's one thing to note with the Teufel Rockster when you're pushing it at higher volumes, so around 50% volume now, which is very loud for the Teufel Rockster. You can really sense that it's pushing the bass quite hard there and taxing the speaker. So let's begin with 80% volume for the JBLs, and I'll match the volume with the Teufel Rockster. Then I'll go up to 100% later on, and then just for the sake of it, 100% even further back, just to show how loud the Teufel Rockster can go at. So yeah, yeah. Let's just begin, I guess. Let's see here. PartyBox is playing now. Let's switch to the Teufel Rockster. Don't involve money that I don't accept. .320s now playing. Now I'm gonna push them to 100% volume. 320 is maximum volume. Teufel Rockster playing now. Very close to my 50% for the Teufel Rockster. Three 320s playing. Okay, and that was about it for that. Now, for the fun of it, I will step back as far as I can with the Bluetooth range that the Teufel Rockster has, and then I will play. I will turn down the bass to 25%. To turn down the bass to the lowest I can on the Teufel Rockster, and then push the treble and the mids, just to show you guys how insane it actually is. And I will try to push it to around 70-80% volume for the Teufel Rockster, because otherwise, when you push it too high, it shuts down, because I guess it takes more than 12 volts to power the speaker. So yeah, I'll try to push it to 80% volume. So yeah, be right back, and then have the party boxes at 100%, of course, to sure. Be right back. Okay, now I'm ready for the fun comparison. I just wanted to apologize to everybody that lives in this area where I live. Yeah, it's gonna be loud. I'll begin with the party boxes as a reference, and then I'll switch to the Teufel Rockster. Hopefully this is a far enough distance that my phone doesn't lower the volume automatically, so you can really experience how loud it is. Hopefully that's the case, because this is about the breaking point here for the Teufel Rockster. I can't go much further with losing a Bluetooth connection, and this was way better than I actually remembered. I remembered it being quite poor, but now this is about 40 meters away. This is actually decent Bluetooth range. Usually it wasn't this good, but yeah, whatever. I'll take this as a win for sure. And hopefully, as I said, and we'll play Cyberpunk Max Braun. So I'll begin here with the party boxes playing, and then switch back to the Teufel Rockster, and then just push it so it gets progressively louder. Okay, Teufel Rockster now. There we go. 80% volume.
I think the girls with the nails done now.
Stage 320s.
Nails done. I think the girls with the nails done.
Rockster. Lower a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one more time with the drop, and then I gotta get out of here so I don't upset people on a Sunday after Sunday morning. I guess this is not really morning now with 20 past 10, but yeah, still gotta respect other people, I guess. So I guess we can switch back to the 320s here, having a nice low volume. Of course, they're playing at 100%. Sorry for talking too much. Teufel Rockster now playing again, pushing it.
I think the girls with their nails done.
And one last time to the party boxes. And that was it. So I maybe played for around 1.5 minutes now for the Teufel Rockster. Yeah, 3 minutes in total, that song, I guess. And that was insane. That was insane. Yeah, let's go for a conclusion part then. That's gonna be a bit quieter and not as loud as this. So be right back. Okay, and that was about it. Or that was it for the sound comparison. Hopefully I didn't disturb too many people. Yeah, I mean, this is a good open area, I guess, so made for activities. Maybe not like these, but yeah. Anyhow, the conclusion of this video, which I think is the funniest part, or probably one of the interesting parts, even though it's quite fun as well to hear how the speakers listen to, or how they sound when pushing them as well. So the takeaways here are the Teufel Rockster is much louder. That's not, as you can hear in the 100% volume comparison. I was pushing 50% volume when the PartyBoxes were pushing 100% volume. So that kind of says it all, honestly. And then it also had way more bass. But other than the loudest volumes, how did they sound at 30% volume? At around 30% volume, they were quite... it was quite easily actually to decide which was best. The PartyBoxes were the better options at 30% volume at a closer distance. That's mainly because the Teufel Rockster, even though it can get really loud, its dispersion is really what kind of hampers it. So that you could really hear when I went off axis and said I wanted to just note you guys to note that is that you could really hear it suffering there. It had the same volume as when I was right in front of it, but then when I went off axis, I went a bit to the side, it lost all treble and most mids, while retaining of course a lot of bass. You could still hear the bass very well, but the rest was lost. Whilst that's the thing with the 320s, they might not sound as good as their older PartyBox speaker like the 300 for example, but when they have a really even sound, even just as a one unit speaker, the 320 has a really even sound when going off axis and on axis and whatnot. So that's important to note. And that's something I know that I had a guy comment that the dispersion would probably be better on the 320s here than the Teufel Rockster, and that's very correct. The dispersion is quite a bit better. Sound-wise, I would say that they're not. I think they're struggling a bit in the mids and whatnot, but I think the Teufel Rockster sound quality is quite a bit better. However, newer songs like the ones I played, like house music or dubstep or whatnot, they have a really they are favored for the JBL. They've tuned most of the speakers that way, so it sounds better when playing those songs. For example, they have a lot of deep bass, but not a lot of upper bass. Whilst you actually get the entire package with the Teufel Rockster, you get a lot of deep bass and whatnot, but it's a pretty narrow sound as well. And it doesn't focus as much of the deep bass spectrum as the JBL's does. So that's something to note. But you get more bass. You get way more bass with the Teufel Rockster. Even with EQ on the speaker, you get more bass. And even with the PartyBox's EQ that you get, the 5-band EQ, it doesn't stand a chance still when pushing that. You could use more external EQs to push the JBLs at lower volumes to get a similar amount of bass as the Teufel Rockster, but you could do the same with the Teufel Rockster and would still have an advantage there, I guess, if you're a bass lover. But it's an even sound. It's a really even sound. And now for the most important factor in this comparison, that I think as well. These are both the biggest battery-driven speakers in respective brands. So this is the biggest for the Teufel company. I guess you could have 2 Teufel Rocksters and sync them together. But the same goes with the JBLs. You could have 100 million of them and sync them together. But they're the biggest battery powered right now as of 2024 April. And the thing here is that portability. That's the main thing, I think. That's the takeaway. The 320s are so much more portable than the Teufel Rockster. So if I am going outdoors, I'm probably gonna bring the 320s, unless it's a lot of people coming to the parties where I'm hosting, or I just want to have a speaker really far in the background and just show it off, I guess, because it's a really nice sound it delivers at really high volumes still. I pushed it to around 80% volume as its maximum volume there, because it distorts quite a bit, and I think it sounded quite alright. Slight distortions, but it sounds it didn't distort on me as much as I know it can do. So you really have to turn down the bass. Portability, the 320s are much more portable. The wheels are way better on the 320s. You have wheels with the Teufel Rockster, but as I said, I decided to not use them because I've had a really bad experience where the speaker broke, but I could return it and get a new one, luckily. But that's honestly a bit of a hassle. You don't really want to do that. They also have removable batteries that the Teufel Rockster also has, really quite accessible, but not nowhere as close as accessible as the 320s. And you would have to, if you want to have these for a long while, you would need to bring an external power brick for the Teufel Rockster that can push at least 400-500 watts of power to keep the party going for a longer while. And then you're going up. The speaker itself with the wheels, I think it weighs around 36 kilos, maybe 32 and a half empty, and then you add the battery and whatnot. You get around 36 kilos, whilst the JBLs only weigh, what do they weigh? 16 and a half kilos each, which means they should weigh 33 kilos combined. Even that's a lot of weight. If you're going to bring an external battery as well with the Teufel Rockster, you're pushing 40 kilos plus. And those 7 kilos, they make a difference, because this is barely portable as it is, and it's going to be even less when bringing that. But if you have a car, or you have a cargo bike or something like that, the Teufel Rockster is a great option, I guess. And I guess indoors listening, I might as well add here, is that indoors wise, I think the Teufel Rockster sounds better indoors. The JBLs look cooler and they perform, you can hear the sensation of the deep bass quite a bit, but when playing other genres like rock, jazz or blues, or any other type of genre that's not modern pop or yeah, modern pop or yeah, house music and whatnot, and hip hop, modern hip hop as well. The JBL struggle quite a bit with those genres. There's no meat to the sound, there's no bass, and it does not sound that great, honestly, when showing it indoors. Also, you can hear that the JBL sounds awful the first second when you play the music. It's because the AI kicks in and does something to the sound, and then it corrects. There is now a software update for the 320s that I'm not upgraded yet, and I will do that later on. It says performance fixes, so maybe they can change that with software, but as of right now, that's the case. And it's kind of, I think they should have a finished product when they deliver it, but I guess it's good that they can still update the software for that one. Yeah, the sound sounds way better on the Teufel Rockster when it comes to that. But if you like modern music and you like to go out occasionally without having like a full-time job bringing out the speaker itself, then the JBLs are better, and I think they are suited for most people compared to the Teufel Rockster, which of course plays a lot louder. And you could, even though they have a wide, they dispersed, they can they have a wider dissipation of sound, the JBLs. The Teufel Rockster, you could still put it way further back than the JBLs and then just push the volume, and you would still have a louder volume and it would cover a wider area than the JBLs would. But if you're at closer distance, the JBLs does sound nicer outdoors, I think. But not indoors. Indoors, I still, even though you get a wider sound with the JBLs, I still think that Teufel sounds better. Yeah. That's about it. Of course, they're also rainproof and whatnot. And that was one thing I wanted to mention with the Teufel Rockster, is that it might not be rainproof, but you can buy for only 50, or what is it, 55 euros or something like that. You can buy a raincoat for the Teufel Rockster, and I will show you that right now. This is the raincoat for the Teufel Rockster. You can put it on it, and it's really good against rain. I've used this after I did my, I don't know, 250 subscriber special. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. But when I did it, it started to rain, and I was so afraid because the JBL PartyBox 300s and the Teufel Rockster, they're not rainproof speakers, but luckily I could haul away the Rockster really fast home, and then I put the rain cover, this big rain cover around both my PartyBox 300s, and they both survived without getting water damage at all. They didn't have any water on it, so I can say for sure the rain cover works, and it's honestly a must if you're gonna buy the speaker and have it outdoors. Having it rain and then have a damaged speaker for 1,000 euros, that's really yeah, not fun at all. That's also one thing to mention. Price wise, the Teufel Rockster is slightly cheaper than two JBL 320s. I got them for around the same price, but I would imagine they also will go down slightly in price later on, and they will be quite similar in price in general. So yeah, that's why this is quite an even comparison, I would say. This model, apparently I didn't know that, but there's probably I think this is the so-called Rockster 2, which is supposedly have a better battery, but I honestly don't know too much of that. But I bought the Teufel Rockster in 2022, so I guess it's a newer version. It is what it is. Anything else to mention? Yeah, it's just easier to portal. They're just much easier to, much more portable, the JBLs. So I just want to push that. You can bring one, or you can bring two. Like bringing one still delivers quite great sound and outdoors, and then you can change. Oh, do you want one or two? Whilst you either bring the Teufel Rockster or you do not bring it. So yeah, that's something to mention. You get lights. You get lights. They're on right now in the sun. White lights, and they're barely. You can barely see them. They're not that big, but in the nighttime they look great. They look great, and the app also when changing the lights is very helpful. Anything else? I'm trying to think of things so I don't need to put that in the comment section later. Maybe I will anyways, but yeah, I guess you have a little bit fancier knobs on the JBLs and whatnot. The buttons and whatnot, they look a little bit more refined with the plastics and whatnot. It's very nice, clicky sounds. Yeah, knobs and whatnot, very fun to press. And of course, this is the funniest part of the JBL speakers, I think. These sound fucking buttons. What? No sound? Ah, yeah, I need to turn it up first. There you have this.
Let's party!
That's the most fucking that voice is so it's not, it doesn't have any energy at all.
Let's party!
It's almost electronic. Like, is that a joke? That's the most horrible fucking. No, there's no engagement. It doesn't feel like. It doesn't give you a sensation of having a party at all. Oh, guys, do you want to have a party? Well, press this button. Watch this.
Let's party!
That's a joke. That's a joke of a button. Yeah, that's mostly fun, honestly. And then you have a microphone dials where you can change the echo and whatnot, but not really a big thing. I think that this is a well-refined speaker that's meant for a wider market. The JBL, whilst the Teufel Rockster is a bit more of a niche. But honestly, it has a really big place in my heart, and probably if I chose between these two, I would maybe. Fuck, that's a really hard question. It has a special place in my heart. But the JBLs are probably the winners in this comparison, even though there are quite a few benefits with the Teufel Rockster. But I think the cons outweigh the pros when comparing these two to each other. Yeah, I guess I show around a bit of the Teufel Rockster. You have handles here, and then you can screw in wheels from the bottom. But as I said, don't have them here. This is how the back looks. I'm gonna take my phone out of this pocket here. Let's see here. All the little dials and whatnot. So here are the dials. You have XLR inputs, left and right. And you can hook this up to another one if you want. So you can have a right and left stereo playing. We have masters out again. This is for a car battery, this is for general charging, and here you can change the battery. Aux, of course, or you can listen with headphones. It's because this has a Class D amplifier, a digital amplifier in this speaker, and not anything. Of course, this also has an amplifier, but this has a real Class D amplifier, which is very cool. Maybe these also have some kind, but it sounds really good with this amplifier. So you can listen with headphones on the speakers, on this speaker, which is also fun. Here we have the dials I've talked about. So here is one of the dials, and this is the EQ, and it has two Bluetooth modes. So you can either use one Bluetooth here, and then you use these three dials here, and then volume and this input here. And you can use the other side, and then you can change between the channels here, and with this little knob here as well. And this is also the masters, so you can turn. This is maximum now. If I turn it here, but I don't want to use it there, and I used it at around 80%, so around there, so not there, around there. So very close to maximum volume, with other words. And this is for headphones. We have power on and off. Very good to know. And instruments and off. Whatnot. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, I show you the JBLs as well, I guess. Why not? Here we have the JBLs. There's a little light here as well, so you can see the controls in the nighttime a bit easier. And it's much simpler, but it's also quite good. Yeah, now I've only 5% left on my phone, so I will turn off the... So thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully you enjoy this 500 subscriber special. And don't forget to take care, and see you guys in the next one. Cheers.